What's up, guys? I'm Nobody Special, and today China did what only the most draconian and oppressive regime in history knows how to do. They banned something. They got involved in their people's lives, and they said, you can't do this anymore. Except today, this meant transacting in any way in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Tether. I'm going to get into the details of this and what it might mean for cryptocurrency. You ready? Hit it. Thank you for joining me. I'm Jack Gamble, and I'm Nobody Special. And today, China did what only the most oppressive and overarching and draconian government in the world knows how to do. They banned something. They got into their people's lives, and they said, can't do this anymore. And today, this meant cryptocurrency. Today, the People's Bank of China officially put out that they have made it a crime to transact in any way in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Tether. Now, before we get into the details, I have to ask, guys, if you could, please smash that big, beautiful, transitory like button. Remember, subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell. It really helps me out. It helps me to keep this channel growing. Now, with that, let's shrink my big, fat melon of a head. Bitcoin and Ether slide as China intensifies crackdown on cryptocurrencies. The price of Bitcoin fell about 5% to $42,496. Ether, the second largest digital currency, dropped 7% to $29.21. The decline comes as the People's Bank of China said all crypto-related activities are illegal. Now, it's interesting that China would go Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Tether. Tether specifically. Why would China target Tether specifically? Well, you see, Tether, combined with Bitcoin or Ethereum or the other cryptos, has been a mechanism for capital flight out of China recently. All right? And if you're a Chinese citizen, chances are most of your wealth is tied up in real estate in some way. And if you can read the writing on the wall, and you've been following my channel and watched any of my recent videos, you know there is some serious economic mayhem on the horizon in China. And so China has put some very serious controls in place to limit money from leaving the country. All right. Now, if you're a Chinese citizen and you're a little tech savvy, you know that buying cryptocurrency is a good way to get around this capital flight requirements or bans. So you trade your yuan for USDTs, you trade those for Bitcoin, and then voila, you can move your money anywhere in the world without a problem for a very low fee. This is one of the reasons why Bitcoin is so popular with El Salvador right now and why the country has adopted it, because El Salvador gets most of its GDP from remittances, from people working in other countries like the United States, where they earn their wages there and they send the money back home, typically through like a Western Union. Problem is Western Union charges an arm and a leg. They take a pretty big haircut out of that money that they sent home. Well, with Bitcoin, you can send that money instantly for a much less fee than Western Union charges. Even the Bitcoin Lightning Network fees, which are not insignificant, but they're a heck of a lot less than Western Union charges. So that's why it's so popular in El Salvador, and that's why it's popular as a means of getting your money out of China if you're a wealthy Chinese. Well, the country has officially made that illegal now, along with God knows what else. It's one thing that draconian governments love to do. It's make things illegal. Now, to be clear, there's probably more pain on the horizon for cryptocurrencies. It's been a rough couple of weeks. So if you look at the 6-month chart, we're obviously down, well down from our highs. Looks like a dead cat bounce. I'm not sure. It's come down in recent weeks, and it has bounced off its 50-day moving average. But we're kind of at that point now. Are we going to hold that 50-day line, or are we going to break below? I don't know. I'm sorry. I have my big fat melon in the way. Let's put me over here. If it follows the previous halvening schedules, right, we've seen moves like this in 2017, 2018 timeframe where you had a Bitcoin halving and then you had a big run up in price, sharp sell-off, a dead cat bounce, and then the sell-off resumed. And then the price stayed relatively low for a couple of years before the next halving. That may be what we're looking at here, where we have a big run up to 64,000 about, sharp sell-off, dead cat bounce, sell-off resumes, where we stay low for a couple of years. The next halving then is scheduled in 2024, I believe. So that could be what we're looking at here. Now, if you've been following my channel, you know that I do not try to time the markets. I am not a market timer when it comes to Bitcoin. I'm playing the super long game. I dollar cost average in. I don't know if we're going to see a big sell-off. I don't know if we're going to see another big run. All I know is that 10 years from now, Bitcoin is going to be a lot higher than it is right now. That I can guarantee. Well, I can't guarantee it, but I'm staking my own money that that is the case. Now, I guess this is a good time for me to cover my butt and say I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. Do your own research, your own DD, and arrive at a decision that's right for you based on your unique situation. That being said, the way I like to handle Bitcoin is I dollar cost average in. I do not make any major trades. I don't try to time markets. I buy a little bit every week, regardless of the price, and I almost never look at it. And then every now and then, I'll take whatever coins I've accumulated and I'll put them into cold storage where they're safe. And to do that, I use an app called Swan. And I like Swan because the fees are low and because they have great security. Now, I'm going to put a link in the description of this video. If you want to check out Swan and sign up, you'll get $10 in free Bitcoin if you use that link. Full disclosure, that is an affiliate link. Now, I'll always disclose when I'm using affiliate links, but that said, I've been using this service personally since February. I stand by it. I've had nothing but great experiences with it. I've been able to pull my coins off of the exchange and put them into cold storage without event. So I really like this application. Now, as far as the timing goes of this sudden ban, I don't think that it's insignificant that this happens in the midst of this Evergrande crisis. Now, I've done some videos about how Evergrande may be mixed up, or how Tether may be mixed up with Evergrande. I had one of my viewers coined the term Tethergrande, and that was pretty interesting. So that is one possible reason why the ban could be happening. It's possible that Tether, who claims to be one-for-one backed by U.S. dollars or commercial paper, it's possible that some of that commercial paper that Tether has that's housed in China may not be worth what they say it's worth. And if there's a stampede for the exits in Tether, and Tether goes to sell that commercial paper, they're not going to get face value for it. They may not be able to redeem all those U.S. dollars. So if there's any kind of a loss of faith in Tether, it would crash Tether and it could lose its peg to the dollar. Now, Tether is about 75 to 80% of all crypto transactions. So if Tether loses its peg to the dollar and collapses, you bet it will cause the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum to go down. You can bet the house on that one. I'm not saying that's definitely going to happen, but I can tell you those Tether folks, the executives, and the way they do business, shady doesn't even begin to cover it. That's a topic for a whole other video, but I just want to throw that out there. Now, the other interesting thing going along with the timing of this is Evergrande stays silent on its $83 million bond interest payment. All right? Tether had an $83 million coupon due today, and they missed that payment. Well, I should say they haven't defaulted on that payment. They've entered their 30-day grace period. All right, so they have 30 days from the date of when this payment is due. They have 30 days of grace. If they haven't paid at the end of that 30 days, then they've defaulted. Now, a lot of people were speculating that they were going to make this payment on time. Well, it's iffy if they've actually made it on time or not, right? They haven't made the payment yet, but they're in their grace period. All right, so this could send more and more waves through the Chinese junk bond market and through the commercial paper market, so it's something you should keep your eyes on. Now, I want to just talk for a minute about China's reaction and China's movement on Bitcoin right now and at this time. It doesn't surprise me, all right? Because when draconian governments or people who try too hard to control every aspect of people's lives, it always causes problems. And when it causes problems, these powerful statist, communist, elitist types, they don't see the error of their ways and say, maybe I don't know what's right for everybody. Maybe I shouldn't manage the day-to-day lives of everybody at every level. Maybe I should step back and let people make up their own mind. No, they never do that. When powerful people exert too much influence and cause problems, their knee-jerk reaction is always to exert more influence. And almost always they make the problem worse. All right? And that's what reminds me of what has become my favorite chart in the whole wide world. And that is, forgive me for geeking out a little bit here, what has become known as the Tarkin effect. All right? There's my man Peter Cushing. All right? You may notice over my shoulder here, I'm a bit of a Star Wars guy. And nothing personifies the error of oppressive governments better than this graph of the Tarkin effect. All right, and this is a famous quote from Princess Leia on the first Death Star, where she told Governor Tarkin, "The more you tighten your grip, the more star systems will slip through your fingers." And here we have it in beautiful chart form. I couldn't help. I like charts. I like Star Wars. What's not to love here? Showing a graph of, as you tighten your grip, the number of star systems that slips through your fingers. Now, I promise there's a message in here. I'm not just geeking out for no reason. This is just to say that the more oppressive you get in China, and the more you try to manage every facet of your people's lives, the more problems you're going to cause and the harder you're going to find it to maintain control. And China would be wise to study this graph very closely and pay attention, rather than doing what they always do and just taking more power and exerting more control and more influence. Maybe you might let people make up their own minds and their own decision. And if they don't want to use Bitcoin, they won't. If they do want to use Bitcoin, they will. I don't see the problem here. But hey, that's just me. I just throw them out there. You do what you want with them. Anyway, guys, this is a short videos today. And if this seems a little repetitive, I did talk about this in my live stream today, but something happened with my internet connection and it got cut off. And the whole first half of my live stream got deleted. And this is too important of a topic that I didn't want to just leave it today. So I circled back to make this video as a standalone video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget that thumbs up button. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell. It really helps me to keep this channel growing, and I'd be forever in your debt. Until next time, live small and dream big.